A private safety inspector says he warned the Branson, Missouri, duck boat company nearly a year ago that a design flaw in some of the vehicle's exhaust could cause them to sink in choppy water. The safety expert is one of many who have flagged potential dangers posed by duck boats in their dual role as both buses and boats. 17 people died Thursday when one of the boats sank in a storm with 5-foot waves on Table Rock Lake in Branson. Duck boats, based on World War II military landing craft, are popular with tourists because they permit sightseeing on both land and water. Steve Paul, owner of the Test Drive Technologies inspection service in the St. Louis area, said he issued a written report for the company in August 2017 warning that some of the vehicle's engines and their bilge pumps might fail in bad weather, the Associated Press reported. If you watch that video, that water is definitely being slammed up into that exhaust without a doubt, Paul said of the disaster. Paul said he inspected several dozen of the vehicles for Ripley Entertainment in August 2017 and warned of the design flaw. He said the boats had also been modified from their original design to allow them to carry more passengers. Paul said the design flaw would have allowed water to run into the exhaust pipe and then into the engine, stalling it and halting the pumps that empty out any water leaking in. The U.S. Coast Guard said the boat that sank was built in 1944 and has passed an inspection in February, the Kansas City Star reported. The company operating the Branson duck boats has halted service. Federal officials have warned tourists for nearly 20 years about the dangers posed by amphibious tour boats, which have spotty and sometimes contradictory safety regulations because they are neither entirely boat nor bus. Operators have lengthened some of the boats from their original designs and sometimes have added canopies and see-through vinyl walls, allowing them to operate in bad weather. A witness's video of the duck boat just before it capsized suggests that its flexible plastic windows might have been closed and could have trapped passengers as the hybrid boat truck went down. It does not show passengers jumping clear. The biggest problem with a duck when it sinks is that canopy, Paul told the AP. That canopy becomes what I'll call a people catcher, and people can't get out from under that canopy. Ripley Entertainment, the company operating the duck boats in Branson, did not respond to messages seeking comment from the USA Today network. Spokeswoman Suzanne Smagala has noted that Thursday's accident was the only one in more than 40 years of operation. The duck boat company's website now carries a statement of sorrow, along with the image of a black ribbon. The safety of our guests and employees is our #1 priority. Ride the Ducks will be closed for business while we support the investigation, and to allow time to grieve for the families and the community. Thank you for your support, and we ask that your thoughts and prayers be with the families during this time. Because the boats travel on land and in water, they are regulated by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Coast Guard. The National Transportation Safety Board, which is investigating the Branson accident, has complained in the past about a lack of oversight and sometimes conflicting regulations over the vehicles. One issue with the boats is their canopies. The Coast Guard requires life jackets on boats but leaves it to the vessel's master to tell passengers when to wear the jackets during hazardous situations. The NTSB recommended passengers not wear life jackets on boats that have canopies because when the vehicles sink, the life jackets can float passengers into the canopy, preventing escape. The NTSB, which makes non-binding safety recommendations, has urged the removal of canopies from the vehicles to reduce the risk of drowning. The agency has also recommended the Highway Administration regulate the vehicles for over-the-road travel with requirements for passenger seatbelts, while saying that passengers shouldn't wear seatbelts while the vehicle is in the water. Multiple agencies are now investigating the Branson duck boat disaster. Duck boats have been involved in a series of fatal incidents in civilian use as tourist vehicles. 13 people died when the Miss Majestic operated by Land and Lakes Tours sank May 1, 1999, on Lake Hamilton in Hot Springs, Arkansas. The rubber boot that provided a watertight barrier where the axle penetrated the hull failed, and the vessel sank in 7 minutes in water about 60 feet deep, the NTSB found. 7 passengers and the operator survived. 4 people drowned when the Lady Duck sank June 23, 2002, in Canada in the Ottawa River in Gatineau. Quebec. The vehicle wasn't watertight and sank in water about 25 feet deep near the Hull Marina, according to the Transportation Safety Board of Canada. 6 passengers, the driver and tour guide, escaped. 2 people died and 26 were injured when a Ride the Ducks of Philadelphia tour vehicle sank July 7, 2010, in the Delaware River in Philadelphia. The vehicle sank in water 55 deep after colliding with the 250-foot sludge barge called the Resource, towed by a 79-foot tugboat called Caribbean Sea. According to the NTSB, the accident was caused by the tugboat mate failing to keep a proper lookout while distracted by his cell phone and laptop, according to the NTSB. But the board also found that the tugboat master contributed to the accident by failing to take appropriate actions while anchoring in an active navigation channel. 5 bus passengers died and 71 other people were injured September 24, 2015. After a collision with the Duck 6 amphibious vehicle on the Aurora Bridge in Seattle. One of the Duck 6's axles failed and led to a loss of steering and braking, the NTSB found. Ride the Ducks International modified its axle housings, drivetrain and other equipment but wasn't registered as a vehicle manufacturer, the board found. 1 woman on a scooter was killed and a passenger injured April 30, 2016. In a collision with a Penelope Prue amphibious vehicle operated by Boston Duck Tours. The amphibious vehicle overtook the scooter as both accelerated out of a stoplight, the NTSB found.